Sir, will you be going on mute? Okay, okay. Sure. Thank you. Hello, hello everyone. Can you all hear me? Hi, hi. I can see the comments pouring in. Thank you for joining.
Hello Akash, hello Yashika. Welcome to the session.
Good evening. We'll take some time so that everyone can join in. Meanwhile, how are you all doing? Hello, Ayushi. Stressed? Completely understandable. Preparation is going on, yes. We are doing well.
So we would like to know, where are you guys joining from? Jharkhand, nice.
Pan-India audience.
Nagpur. That's great. Mumbai. So in the meantime, you can also scan the QR code of the social media handles that we have and check out the events that the Aspirants team organizes. Delhi, Assam. That's great.
It's lovely to see that all of you have joined in from so many different places. Some of you have also mentioned that your preparation is going on. How is that going? How is your preparation going currently? Quizzes are going on. Okay. Okay. How many of you have started the preparation, like full swing? Ups and downs. It's definitely a roller coaster ride.
Some people have started from January as well. That's great to hear.
Okay, that's great, Alek.
Okay, if all of you have joined in, we'll begin. Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a conversation with Snap Toppers, a collaboration between Cracku and SIBM Pune. I am Pooja R, and I'm part of the Aspirant Relations team of SIBM Pune. And today we have planned a short, informational, and insightful session for all of you. So, we'll be talking about the much awaited SNAP 2023, various preparation strategies, how is life here at SIBM Pune, and we'll chalk out a plan on how to approach this journey. So, before that, a small disclaimer is that our intention is not to bore you all, right? So, we'll try to keep this session as interactive as possible. So, please do keep using the chat box. We'll also have a Q&A at the end of the session. And, when you were sharing your experiences, right, stressed and ups and downs, we can imagine what all of you might be going through, right? We were on the other side of the table just a year ago. So it is very overwhelming and can be very overwhelming. And some of you have started the preparation, some of you are getting into the swing of it, This session is for all of you. So, first and foremost, let me introduce us, your hosts for the day. Yeah, as you can see, my photos right there on the screen, and my co-hosts are Muskan, Aarushi, and Atharv. So all of us are part of the Aspirant Relations team, and each of us will introduce ourselves and we'll share our experiences as we go along. Okay. So our council is chiefly dedicated to reaching out to you and ensuring that there is a seamless admission process. So please do feel free to reach out to us on our social media platforms or through our official email, right? And we are always here to lend you a helping hand. We have also shared our LinkedIn profiles. So in the chat box, there is a pinned drive link that has been shared. You'll get our LinkedIn profiles, all the resources that are required. You can download and use them. So let me begin by talking a little bit about myself. Yeah, so I'm from Kerala. I'm settled in Bangalore. So my career, I would say it's a beautiful reflection of how SIBM celebrates diversity. I have done my undergraduation in BTech, Computer Science and Engineering. I worked for 2 years as a business technology analyst at Deloitte, US, India. And I've also done my master's in psychology from Christ University. So I'm a practicing counseling psychologist as well. So that's a bit about my career. But apart from that, I love dancing, watching series and movies, journaling, so on and so forth. Right. So let's begin by talking about the main topic of the day, Snap. As you all know, Snap 2023 is around the corner. The official dates have been released. So before we talk in detail about the journey, right, it's very important to have a good context about the examination at hand. So what do you already know about Snap? Let me know in the comment box. What all information do you already have? I can see a couple of queries coming up. We will be answering it throughout the session and at the end as well. So what do you know about Snap? Snap is an easy exam. I really do hope you find the exam easy. 1 hour speed-based paper, absolutely. 60 questions in 60 minutes. Okay, unexpected pattern, yes, definitely. You're absolutely right. It's a very dynamic exam. It keeps changing, right? And I guess many of you have done your homework pretty well. It's a 1 hour computer-based test. It's an objective test, which means that each question will have 4 options. So something I want to really highlight here is that there is a negative marking when it comes to Snap, 25% negative marking, right? This means that don't try to make random guesses, like we used to do in school and all. Please don't try to make random guesses because you'll get a negative marking there. And this year, Snap will be conducted on 3 different days, 10th, 17th, and 22nd. And you can register for 1, 2, or 3 of the exams. It's absolutely up to you. This is a question that we get asked a lot, right? It's not mandatory that you have to register for all 3. It's your choice, right? And the test with the highest score will be considered. So let's say you get 40, 45, and 46. Only 46 will be considered. So make a decision accordingly, right? And you can also see the division of the syllabus on the screen. You can take some time to absorb it in. And meanwhile, let me invite my co-host Atharv to introduce himself. And he'll be taking you through this registration process of Snap, and he'll also share his valuable experiences.
Hello everyone, I'm Atharv Arya. I'm from Chandigarh. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I have done my undergraduation in mechanical engineering, post which I have a gap of 3 years. I have enjoyed various pursuits in past. I am a meditation and yoga instructor, which I have been doing for the last 3 years. Let me also share a bit about my journey to SIBM Pune. So SIBM Pune has been in my bucket list, and I started my preparation for Snap to get into this hilltop heaven. I have worked diligently to crack Snap and get a top percentile. My strategy was very simple. Do as many mocks as possible. In fact, the month before my exam, I used to attempt 1 mock every day. I know it's not possible for everyone, but I used to do that because I know that giving mocks will prepare you for the real situation. You get to know where you stand in when you are attempting a mock. So after attempting each mock, I would analyze the questions that I got wrong, and I would improve my on my weak areas. So mocks are a good way to analyze what areas you need to improve on. And as I already mentioned, meditation, yoga, and fitness are the areas that have given me a lot of comfort and happiness. So it helps me to deal with stress and everything. So you should also try some of these things to deal with that kind of stress. Now, let me tell you a timeline of the entire process. So SNAP registration closes on November 23rd, 2023. During registration, you can choose the test you would like to appear for. You will receive the admit card on December 4th and 9th. The exam dates are 10th, 17th, and 22nd of December. And the results will be out on January 10, 2024. Now, I want to highlight something specifically about the process. We get this question a lot through our sessions, and we also receive multiple emails with this query. So after registering for SNAP, should we register separately for SIBM Pune? The answer is yes. SNAP is an exam pertaining to a lot of colleges under Symbiosis University. So yes, it is essential to register separately for SIBM Pune. Last day to register to apply for MBA at SIBM Pune is December 9th, 2023. Please set a reminder and try to register at least a few weeks before this date, because we don't need any last minute technical glitches or mishaps, right? So now, how do you register? You can see a QR code that takes you to the registration page. We will also show you the process. So go to snaptest.org, click on apply now on the top right corner. In the next page, click on register button and provide your details. As you can see, we have the option to select how many exams we would like to give. And there are so many test centers in the drop-down. So we have 84 test cities this year. Yes, 84. So you can go to the test center of your comfort and give the test. Let me also highlight the roadmap to SIBM Pune, because if you're applying for SNAP examination, SIBM Pune is the destination for that. So this is the roadmap for SIBM Pune. These are the processes you will be following. Now, SNAP is not the end of the road. We have other processes lined up after SNAP. Based on your SNAP scores, you will be shortlisted for GEPI process. The shortlist of GEPI will be out on January 15th, 2024. The GEPI process will take place in two phases. Phase 1 will be from 1st February to 5th February, and phase 2 will be from 8th February to 12th February. And the first merit list will be out on February 26, 2024. I won't go into a lot of details about GEPI process as of now, because we have more sessions lined up for it. So you can have a look out on our social media pages for updates. We also have a surprise lined up for you at the end of the session, so keep watching. Now, let me share a few SNAP strategies which has helped me a lot, and a lot of my batchmates also. So one thing is, divide time among sections wisely. Since you can attempt sections in any order and also switch between them, unlike some other MBA exams, chances of achieving higher sectional scores gradually improve. There has been no sectional cutoffs in the past, so you need not worry about that. Also, thing is, there is fastest finger first. Speed is the key for SNAP. SNAP is primarily a speed-based test where one has to attempt maximum questions. As you only have 60 minutes, you cannot afford to lose the time here. Hence, make sure you don't get stuck on one particular question for too long. Then speed is important, but accuracy is more important. Speed should be combined with accuracy. Just because SNAP focuses on speed does not mean you can compromise on the accuracy. Don't make random guesses in trying to attempt maximum questions. Mark only those which you are sure of. It makes a huge difference. Over here, I would like to suggest a trick. Bank on your strengths first. First, gather as many marks as you can in your strong sections and save the remaining time for the difficult questions. Then you need to customize your sequence. By giving enough mocks, you can get an idea which sequence of sections suits you better. So you can attempt quant first, or you can attempt logical reasoning first. It depends on your ability and what your strengths are. So try all permutations and combination in the mock, so you have the best strategy for the D-Day. Also, let me tell you about how you can achieve your goals. First step is to break the chain of self-doubt. If you are doubting yourself, now, so there are situations when we start doubting our own abilities. So if you have not started preparing for exams, that's all right. It's perfectly natural to find your pace. Let's take this time to gain more self-awareness. Where do you stand versus where you would like to be? This introspection can help you set effective goals. So, talking about goal settings, I would like to share a strategy which is known as SMART goal setting. So, SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Specific means that goal needs to be as specific as possible. For example, I want to score good marks. This is not a specific goal. But if I say I want to score 99 percentile or I want to attempt X number of questions, that is more specific. So you need to set specific goals. Then those goals should be measurable. Like you can measure your progress. For this you can like maintain a journal. For example, if you decide to do 10 topics in Quant, and once you complete each topic you can just measure the progress, like 10% of my work is complete, 25% is complete, and so on. That would help you be on the path. Then the goal must be achievable. Achievable means that what actionable steps you can take to achieve your goal. For example, let's say if you are a working professional and you are working 9 hours a day and you are planning to study 5 hours every day, is that really achievable? You have to think that. Then the goals must be realistic. Are you setting yourself up for success? Because if you have unrealistic goals, you are just setting yourself for more self doubt. For example, let's say if my weak area is logical reasoning and I scored 80 percentile in a mock, and I think, okay, next mock I attempt, I will get 98 percentile in logical reasoning. It is not really realistic. So instead, if I set my goal as 2-3 percentile more, then it becomes more realistic. And the goal should be time bound. You have your snap dates in hand already. Sorry. Which means you have timeline in place. So you can measure your pace according to that timeline. Now these are some strategies and techniques which have worked well for me, and I hope you try them out and let us know how they suit you. Now let me invite my teammate Aarushi to take over.
Thank you, Atharv. Hello, everyone. I am Aarushi Sharma. I'm from Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. So as you can see, I did my bachelor's in architecture from School of Planning and Architecture from New Delhi, post which I worked for a year at a firm based out of New Delhi. Then I took a gap of 6 months while freelancing. I love to read, to travel, and to paint in my free time. I have a newfound passion to working out, which also helped me set a routine during my study break. So because I wanted to diversify, I decided to do an MBA in marketing, and where better than SIBM Pune to do that. I started my prep in June, focusing more on quants and LR sections as they are my weak points. I refer to books, past year papers, and material for the same. These, along with the sectional tests, really helped me learn and develop my skills well. I did a lot of practice so that I'm able to solve quant questions in under 1.5 minutes. As verbal, I could easily do in 20 to 30 seconds. Understanding where my strengths lie also helped me strategize in the exam. As first, I did all the verbal questions in the beginning 20 minutes and then moved on to the next section with a lot of time to spare. I can also see in the comment section, a lot of people have been asking regarding if we have to fill separate forms for all the colleges. I would just like to take a moment to clarify and reiterate the point that yes, after applying for SNAP, you have to select the college you aspire to be part of, and you have to fill separate applications for the same. Moving on, I would also like to share a few strategies that worked really well for me. Let's start with logical reasoning. What really helped me here was that I chose my sets really carefully. Through mocks, you can analyze your strengths and on the D-Day, scan the question paper and pick the one you're more familiar with at first. Don't get attached to a set. It's advisable to not get stuck on a question, as at the end of the day, all questions carry the same number of marks. It's better to leave it than to get negative marks. For quants, one method I can suggest is a bucketing method. You characterize your topics in quants as A, B, or C. A being the easiest, attempt B's later, and invest in C's only if you have time left. Improve your calculation speed and know where your strengths and weaknesses lie. This will really help you segregate all the questions. For BARC and even in all the other sections, you have to analyze a lot of text. So you can start by distilling a summary of each paragraph of various reference materials. You have to try to grasp the majority of content from one read only because it's a speed-based exam. You have to improve your reading speed. And you should ideally start reading the newspaper. And although SNAP does not test your GK till now, it is a dynamic exam. There may be changes in the future. You do have future rounds of GE and PI. Now, talking about time, I can't stress the importance of time management enough. If you ask any of my co-hosts or college mates, I believe they would also agree with this. More practice with effective time management is the key. What are the ways in which you manage your time? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, let me share a strategy that I particularly use for time management, which is called the Pomodoro technique. And let me break it down for you aspirants briefly. It's a simple technique of dividing time into 25-minute blocks followed by 5-minute breaks. This cycle repeats 4 times and is then followed by a longer break. Now, although the advised time is 25 minutes and 5 minutes of break, you can tap into your own attention span. For example, I adjusted to 45 minutes break and 45 minutes of study time and 15 minutes of break. There are also certain apps which help you in this regard. Forest, which is a mobile-based app, and Pomodoro, which is a web-based app. These help you cut off all distractions for these 25 minutes. Apart from the experiences of the members of Aspirant Relations team, we have collected testimonials of some of our peers who are also top SNAP performers. Let's know what all have worked for them in their journeys.
Hello, my name is Laksh Gupta, and I'm currently a first-year student at SIBM Pune. I have previously done my BTech in Mechanical Engineering.
Hi, I'm Ayushi Gupta. I did my graduation in Mathematics Honours from St. Xavier's College, Kolkata. After that, I had a brief stint of work ex of 2 years at Tata Consultancy Services, where I worked as an assistant system administrator.
As an MBA aspirant, I obviously underwent the process of CAT, which required a completely different ballgame that is required by SNAP. So once I had to appear for the SNAP examination, in order to adapt myself to the exam pattern of the same, I thought of some strategies which would help me in the process. Number one being time management. You have to solve 60 questions in 60 minutes, which requires you to solve the questions pretty fast. So you need to have speed along with the requisite accuracy. Another strategy I followed was kind of gauging the complexity of a question as soon as I come across it. So supposedly there's a complex problem and it requires a lot of time in order to decipher the question in the first place. What I would actually do is skip the question for later and handle a simpler or a moderate level difficulty question at first.
My preparation for SNAP mostly included giving lots of mocks, firstly completing my basics, and then more topic tests, more mocks, and analyzing them along with my job.
So as we all know, this preparation journey is full of hurdles, obstacles, and also a lot of stress. Everybody has their own way in which they deal with stress. I kind of found peace and tranquility through 2 processes. Number one being music. I play the guitar and sing along my favorite tunes whenever I feel stressed. This helps me break down from the monotony of constant preparation and helps me align back to the focus that is required by the preparation as well. Another thing that helped me throughout the journey as well was exercise. So I do work out from time to time. I play sports, and whenever I can't do all of these activities, I just skip for a while. So once you exhaust yourself physically after the scrutinous procedure of preparation, then you feel kind of lightheaded and you're able to get back to the rigor that is required by the MBA preparation.
So stress is a very common friend while we are preparing for any kind of competitive exam. I mostly used to talk to my friends, my family, and music was my source of some kind of relief. So that's it.
The most compelling argument for why SIBM Pune has to be its student-driven culture. All of the operations, from admissions to placements, cultural events, as well as the scholastic development of students are taken end-to-end care by the students at SIBM Pune. The kind of skill set that one acquires during this process helps you later in your journey in the corporate sector as well. Another important reason for why SIBM Pune has to be its alumni network. The top CXO positions in leading companies are filled up by people who are alums of SIBM Pune. This is evidence of the kind of fostering and molding of the students into future leaders that takes place at SIBM Pune. Since I want to be a future leader, this is why I'm at SIBM Pune.
The answer to why SIBM is very simple. It gives you the brand, the student-driven culture, the alumni network, the peers that you associate with, the academic rigor. All of these things help you develop into a great leader for the corporate world, and just helps you prepare for it.
So it's always helpful to understand the techniques that have worked well for others. The idea is not to copy them, but to try them out and understand what works well for you and what doesn't. You have to find your own fit. Now, let me invite my co-host Muskan to take the floor.
Thank you so much, Aarushi. Hi, everyone. I'm Muskan Dhiman. I'm from Himachal Pradesh. I pursued my undergraduate in Computer Science and Engineering from NIT Hamirpur. Then I got placed on campus at an IT firm and worked there as a software engineer for about 46 months. I love music, traveling, and yoga. I love solo traveling, and I'm also a level 1 certified yoga instructor. In my free time, I love trying out new things, whether it's as small as reading up on a completely unfamiliar topic or trying something out like pottery. So this is something about me. Now, talking about my preparation journey, I absolutely agree with my peers regarding the importance of mock tests. In fact, I was also giving a lot of mocks, especially in the month of November. And my focus from the start was to build a strong foundation in each topic because, as per the past SNAP exam patterns, a majority of the questions are in the easy to moderate difficulty category. So it's important to have the concepts clear so that you can solve the questions as fast as you can. So English was not my strong area, so I made sure to brush up on my vocabulary and grammar. I used the Volt app for vocabulary and Brennan Martin book for grammar. For quant and logical reasoning, I focused a lot on practice, improving my speed and accuracy. And I also devoted 15 to 20 minutes daily for GK. So I used to read newspapers and YouTube videos to help me in the GPI process ahead. Another challenge for me was because I was a working professional. So I made sure to manage my time wisely. I would usually study 2 to 3 hours at night because that is when I would function at my best. So make sure to adjust and choose a time where you are able to work at your most optimum. And that depends from person to person. So just suit yourself there. Some of the points that I kept in mind while attending mocks. So first and foremost is attend the mocks in the designated time slots to form a reflex habit. So as soon as I got my assigned time slot for the actual SNAP exam, I started giving mocks during that time to get habitual to the timing. And I gave around 6 to 7 mocks till I started getting a good percentile in them. So my message to all of you is that be patient with yourself in this process. In fact, start taking mocks as early as possible and don't wait till you finish the syllabus to start giving the mocks. It's more important to start giving them as early as possible and strategically revise and practice in accordance to your mock scores. I followed a template to analyze my SNAP mocks to check where I was going wrong, what I was doing well, just to understand my strengths and weaknesses. And this helped me improve and track my progress as well. We've also shared multiple resources in our description section, such as the mock analysis template, the daily goal tracker, the planner, resource bundle, and so on. So feel free to download and use them. One thing that I learned throughout my preparation journey was to only worry about the factors that are under your control and to start working towards them. So that is my message to all of you. Now let me talk about why we all chose SIBM Pune over other colleges. So before that, my question is, what comes to your mind when you think about SIBM Pune? Let me know in the chat box. What is that one thing that calls out to you when you think about SIBM Pune? Hilltop campus. That's right. Dream college. Great Soumya. Nice package. Great alumni. Yes, that's right. Dream college. It's coming. So, Symbiosis Institute of Business Management Pune stands tall as one of the nation's premier B schools. With a remarkable 46-year-old legacy, our institution embodies excellence in every aspect. So here at SIBM Pune, we believe in empowering our students with the best academic resources, from our state-of-the-art library to cutting-edge databases. We ensure an unparalleled learning experience. But what truly sets SIBM Pune apart is our vibrant student-driven culture. So as you can see that we are representing SIBM Pune on such a prestigious platform, and that is a true reflection of our student-driven culture. We have 9 student councils and 7 special interest groups, and our students take the lead in all aspects. And this hands-on approach provides the students with the taste of the corporate world. SIBM Pune is also celebrated for a robust alumni network, as one of you mentioned in the comments as well, with many of the graduates holding prominent positions in the corporate world. We have also shared some of the pictures of our beautiful heavenly campus. So the pictures don't do justice of how beautiful the campus actually is. And we hope to see and meet most of you at the campus next year. And we hope that you make it to your dream B school. So at SIBM Pune, we offer 2 MBA programs based on your needs and interests. First is the MBA flagship program, which is a 2-year full-time residential MBA program. And we also offer the Innovation and Entrepreneurship program, which is for budding business entrepreneurs to learn how to create and nurture a startup. Now, talking about the specializations. Just a second, yeah. So the main specializations at SIBM Pune are marketing, human resources, operations, and finance. And to get to know more information about these, you can check out our official website. We'll share that on the official, the chat box as well. Now, another question for you. When you research about the different B schools, what is the one thing that you always check out? What is the one thing that is included in your research about the B schools? Let me know in the comments. Akash says placement, okay. Yashika placement report. Finance. Average package, okay. So most of your answers revolve around placement reports, and yes, that is right. Yes, placement reports, yes, that's right. So yes, placement reports are a must in our B school research. I know I did compare the placement reports of many colleges. So this is the placement report for our summer internship and final placement of last year. And you can see that the highest stipend for the summer internship was 4.4 lakhs, and the highest CTC for the final placements was 35.05 lakhs per annum. You can also check the website for the detailed reports, and you'll get to know the reason why SIBM Pune is a premium B school and a legacy in itself. Here are some of the companies that we have visiting on our campus. SIBM Pune has a lot of big firms visiting the campus. So you can see P&G, Marico, Pidilite, Godrej, Bain & Company. And there's a healthy mix of consulting, FMCG, IT, and BFSI here. Apart from the placement reports, we can know a lot about the B school based on the alumni network. So let's take a look at our alumni. You can see that our alumni have reached great heights in their career, and we are so proud of the legacy we have created. For instance, we have Anita Pai. She is the CEO of Yes Bank. She's from the batch of 1990. We have Abhishek Sinha, CEO of Britannia Belt Foods, batch of 2003. So we have most of these alumni we have for guest lectures at the campus as well. And it's always fun and informative interacting with them. Now let me hand over the session to Pooja. You can take over from here.
Thank you, Muskan. Yeah, so hello again, folks. Happy to be back. So I'll begin by talking about my own preparation since everybody already shared theirs, right? And like my peers mentioned, my main strategy was also doing mocks. But I'm not going to go into a lot of details about mocks because by now you are pretty aware of how important they are, right? But one misconception that I want to sort of bust here is that many a times people think that CAT exam mocks are enough for SNAP, but I sort of disagree with this because both exams have completely different patterns. So it's very essential to do mocks of the SNAP pattern. So you can get it either through a coaching center or a platform, and Cracku is also providing mock patterns of snap, right? So you can get the mock snap patterns as well and you can try them out. And just like Muskan, I was also working while preparing for MBA. So again, it was very important for me to manage my time and my stress levels because I would have like n number of tasks every day. And I had to prioritize these tasks. So I would like to share a technique that I use to prioritize a task, which is the Eisenhower time management metrics. So you can see it on the screen. This is how the metrics looks like. And basically, every day I used to journal and write down the tasks that I had to do for the day. So instead of just writing them down, I would put them into four of these buckets. So those tasks that are both important and urgent, I'll have to do them on priority. For example, mock exams and care, they come under that bucket. Those that are important, but they are not very urgent. For example, if I have a project deadline coming up next week, right? So I'll try to schedule it. I'll try to break it up into chunks and I'll try to schedule it instead of taking it up urgently. Now, those tasks that are not very important, but they're urgent, like, cleaning your room, I try to delegate. And if you have a younger sibling, that's the best place to go for. Now, those tasks that were not important and not urgent, they are actually just distractions and try to delete them from your list absolutely. Right. Now, another aspect that was very, very important to me was self care. And you may have noticed all of us have shared our self care strategies, right? The top Snap performers have also shared the importance of engaging in some form of self care. So you can pick a activity of your choice. It can just be a 15-minute activity, but that's all right. And in the description, in the attached drive link that is shared, right, there is a resource bundle and it has certain self-soothing activities that you can try out. And this is completely up to you. You can remove activities, add more activities to the list, but I would definitely suggest you to try them out. And I do understand that this phase is actually quite difficult, but believe in this process, take it one day at a time. Very soon, you'll be at your destination. You'll be at this side of the screen. And before concluding, right, I would like to break some myths about MBA, admission process, and so on and so forth. And these are questions that we get asked a lot, and some of you may have even asked this in the chat box. So, one frequent question is freshers have less chances of converting a top B school like SIBM Pune. Now, the answer is no. This is just a myth because we have a very, very healthy balance of students with work experience as well as freshers, right? So, the chances are not slim. But what matters is what you have to offer. The second myth is those with engineering backgrounds, they have a better chance to get admission. Not really, right? Like we have classmates from many different backgrounds. There is law, arts, commerce, economics, literature, psychology, and so on and so forth. So your background as such does not matter. The third myth is freshers are not preferred for placements. Now, again, see, getting a job offer from an organization, it depends on many factors. For example, some organizations, they actually only prefer freshers. Some organizations prefer people with work experience. So it depends from organization to organization. And earlier, we showed you our placement report. There is 100% placement. And all the companies in the report are also very big names. So no matter what your background is, you will get placed at a very good organization when you join a top B school like SIBM. Now, the last myth is people with gap years, do they have a disadvantage? I believe you have a very perfect example from amongst our own panel. So, Atharv, would you like to take over from here?
Sure. So, being a fresher with a gap of 3 years, I can tell you that having a gap does not matter as long as you are able to explain your gap. What were you doing in those 3 years? How were you working on your self-development? You were working on your skill development, your interpersonal skills, your communication skills, whatever. You just have to justify that gap. What were you doing in those years? And if you are able to justify it, then I don't think it will be any problem. For example, I worked on yoga, meditation, and I used to take online courses on these. So, whatever you're doing, your personality, your ambition, your desires, and your dreams, they matter. So, it all depends on how you are able to justify your gap. Now, this is the surprise which we had in store for you. We successfully organized 17th edition of our flagship event, Coffee with SIBM, last year. Coffee with SIBMs aims to familiarize aspirants with the institute and provide them with last mile strategies for SNAP examination and tips for GEPA preparation. We hope that we will see you all this year at Coffee with SIBM, 18th edition, and be able to help and guide you in the last mile preparation journey. Thank you all for your time and making this session so interactive and lively. We are opening the floor for questions. So any questions you have regarding gap, regarding being a fresher, regarding work experience, regarding how to improve your performance, how to crack SNAP, anything, you can just put in the chat box and we will be happy to answer.
Okay, so I can see a question, and I think multiple people have asked this question about the safest score, right? So, as I mentioned, a SNAP is a very dynamic exam, right? And every year the cutoff would obviously change. So, I would say aim for something close to 98, 99 percentile, but again, it changes. So, it is a top B school for a reason. So, you can aim for a good score, but yeah, it is dynamic. So, you can keep working towards it, and I'm pretty sure you'll reach there. There's this question, is it okay to work on backup? Could you please elaborate on the question? How did you prepare for vocab? So I believe Muskan will be able to take this up because she did share a few resources earlier.
Yes, so Akash has asked, how did you prepare for vocab? So like I mentioned that I used an app called Volt. And other than that, whenever I was reading the newspapers, I would really highlight the words that I was not able to understand. And the old fashioned, I would just go to Google or the dictionary and just refer to what it means. So it's up to you how you are using your time, and make sure that you are working on 5 to 6 new words daily. It's very old-fashioned technique, but it worked really well for me. So I hope that answered your question, Akash.
So I can say Soumya's question regarding where to get mocks. As you can see in the chat box, Cracku has shared free mock exams. Apart from that, there is official mocks that are released by Snap, which will be released later this month. So you can go on the official website and take the mocks from there as well.
Okay, so someone was asking regarding cat and snap, can we prepare them simultaneously? So yes, you can. You obviously can prepare them simultaneously, but the thing is, cat and snap have very different patterns. So when you are preparing for that, you need to keep that in mind that you have to do some extra effort for cat or snap. You have to identify what type of questions are asked, because as we know, snap is a speed based test, so you have to improve your speed for snap. That kind of thing you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, we as MBA students, we all prepared for these exams.
Okay, I can also see a couple of questions regarding your background, right? Like someone has asked, can BSc agriculture student, can you also, join? So again, as I said, your background, where you come from, it doesn't really matter, honestly. Like we have classmates having agriculture background, so that's absolutely all right. Your background does not really matter. It's what you bring to the table that matters. So again, other question about gap years. Gap year related questions have been coming up. As Atharv mentioned, gap years don't matter as long as you're able to justify the gap, and as long as you're able to talk about what you were doing during that time or how did you utilize that time. So your personality, what you're bringing to the table, that's what really matters here.
I would like to add a point onto that. Someone mentioned that if someone failed +2 and then they have a gap, can they do they have a chance for SIBM or not? I can confidently tell you that it does not matter what your past was. It matters what your potential is. So if you're able to tell that you have the potential to do a particular job, you have the potential to be successful in corporate world, then it does not matter what your past was.
Okay, there is a question on how many mocks should we attempt. It is actually dependent on you, right? It varies from person to person. I believe I've taken at least minimum 10 mock exams before coming, but it actually depends on you. It depends upon your comfort. For instance, I remember when I started preparing, initially I would only take one mock in a week, right? It took me some time to sort of bring in that fuel, and over time I increase the frequency. So I would definitely say try to increase the number of mocks that you take, but it depends on you. There's no fixed number as such.
So I can say Rami has asked us 2 months enough to prepare for Snap from scratch. So it again depends from person to person. If you're able to complete the syllabus on time and start giving mocks, as we mentioned, as soon as possible, then I think you will be able to attempt and crack Snap. But again, it depends on how many hours you put in daily and what is your speed from the start. So I hope the strategies that we have shared, you're able to apply in your preparation journey as well. And we'll be happy to help you in the future sessions, whatever we organize as the Aspirations team.
There has been a question on time management. So, in the chat box, there is a pinned chat with a drive link, right? There are a lot of resources that we have shared. So, in that, you will get certain resources which you can use for time management. For instance, Pomodoro, Eisenhower time metrics, having a weekly planner, having a journal, all of these aspects might help in this regard. So, you can utilize them, you can download those resources, and you can use them.
I see a question by Vinay Kumar. What is actually I see a question regarding what should be the daily routine to be followed at the last time. One important point that I would like to suggest here is once you finalize what time your snap test is going to be, do the mock exams or sit and study at that particular time only. So you can train yourself to be most active at that point of time so that you're able to train your brain properly. So that would be one input. I would like to invite my co-panelists to add on.
I would say that our routine depends from person to person. Like for instance, for me, I was a working professional at that time, and a lot of my day was dictated by my work schedule as well, right? So I had to adjust my preparation around this. So depending upon your normal schedule, let's say you're a student, or let's say you are a working professional, you can try and adjust your timing, your preparation timing around this. For instance, I remember I used to take small pockets of break between my work, like 15-minute break between my work to prepare for small things like, reading a newspaper, right? It would give me a sort of a break from my work, but it would also add on to my preparation. So you can utilize that depending upon your own work day as well.
And just adding on to that, it is important to understand what time of the day you're working at your best. For example, I have seen some of my friends who were preparing during that time. They would choose the morning slot before going to office. But that did not work well for me. So I would study at night after my work hours. So also make sure that whatever time you're spending while preparing, you are using or utilizing that time productively and you're gaining and absorbing information during that time at your best. So that is just another thing that I wanted to add to Pooja.
I see a question by Vivek that will there be another session before SNAP exam? I can tell you there are going to be many sessions in future. We are here to help you at every step. We, the aspirant relations team, you can reach us anytime. You can connect to us on LinkedIn. We have our profiles in the description. You can connect to us on our social media. We are here to help you. And we will have many such sessions in future. So you keep following our social media handles for that.
And also, if you would like help in any particular category, let's say, right, you can suggest it to us also. We'll try to incorporate it in our future sessions so that it can be of more help to you. So that's also something that you can do. So someone, I think Alec has asked why SIBM. So see, there are many reasons, right? And I guess you may have. I don't know if you saw that particular slide on why SIBM, but SIBM is a mixture or an amalgam of many aspects. One, it has a huge brand name. You go to anybody in the industry and say that I'm from SIBM Pune, you can notice a huge difference in their reaction. It has a very beautiful brand name. But apart from the brand name, what I notice here is that you really get an in-depth real experience, right? It's purely driven by students to such a high level that we get exposure from the beginning, and this helps in the corporate journey as well. It helps prepare us for a corporate journey as well. So apart from that, of course, the campus, I mean, you saw the pictures, they are so beautiful, and the campus, just being here itself, makes you feel a sense of peace and tranquility, honestly speaking. So all of these, and of course, I let me be very candid here, you saw the placement report. So that is a big motivation in itself to choose SIBM Pune. Would anybody else like to add on?
Yeah, I think as Pooja mentioned, the placement reports speak for itself. But like some of you in the comments mentioned that it is such a beautiful campus. So I think that is a very big plus because you get to be close to nature and it's very peaceful here. I think that is one thing I would like to add.
Okay, so I guess there's a question about HR related courses. So yeah, Muskan and me, both of us are in the HR specialization. So personally, I haven't done any courses in HR before joining here. I have always been very interested towards HR, but I haven't done any courses as such. But I love reading books related to HR. It might be just random books. It can even be some websites like HR Katha and so on. I like reading up on such news. So I haven't done any particular course as such, and I believe that the academics here, the way the syllabus and the academics is designed, it helps you build your knowledge from the scratch. So you don't really need prerequisite knowledge in HR before joining as such. But of course, if it's something that really aligns to you, if it's something that you want to do, I would suggest you can read resources like HR Khatha, People Matters, and so on. What about you, Muskan?
Yes, so like you mentioned, HR Katha, People Matters. I would just like to add AI HR as well. So all these blogs actually help you because they give you the general knowledge of what is happening in the HR industry currently at the moment, what is happening in the company cultures. So if you are interested in that aspect from the start, then you can go ahead and read articles on that daily. And I think that would also help you in the process ahead, GPI process ahead, because if you're really interested in a specialization from the start, it really helps if an interviewer asks you about why you're interested in a particular specialization. So yes, I think that would be a plus. But again, like Pooja mentioned, it's not a prerequisite. You will get all the knowledge that you need related to HR because um, at SIBM Pune, all the foundations, they start from the first semester. It's very foundational. The courses are very beginner friendly, I would say. So you don't need to read up a lot on that, but if you're interested, then please go ahead.
So I see some questions regarding GEPI process, and they are asking how to prepare for GEPI, like Bhagyashree. So the thing is, we will have more sessions for GPI specifically. But right now, I can tell you that you should start reading newspaper daily, at least the editorial part. So you will have an idea of what's happening in the world, and you can understand how what kind of like it gives you points to say in such like GEPI and all. So it can help you a lot. So currently, I can suggest that you can start studying that kind of thing. You can start reading newspaper. You can start studying GK a little so to build up your knowledge base and to get into more specific about GPI process, we will have future sessions. So you can keep following us.
I also see some questions regarding the score that you need to score for Snap. So I would say that don't aim for a particular score that you need to score in Snap, because the percentile keeps changing related to a score. So make sure that you are attempting the best you can and try to uh, focus on the percentile, because that is what is the cutoff, right? So I would say don't aim for a particular score, just attempt your best.
I would like to add on as well. I mean, regarding the score, because I remember after my SNAP exam, I was coming back with a friend, and my friend had attempted a lot of questions, and I would say a lot more questions than me, and I felt very disheartened, thinking that I'm not gonna make it, right? So my strategy was very simple. I would only attempt those questions that I'm confident in, right, and I will try not to make any random guesses. That was my strategy. So although the number of questions that I attempted was less, I guess my accuracy was higher, and that's why my percentile was better. So again, don't try to maximize the number of questions just for the sake of it. But if you are trying to maximize, try to make sure that your accuracy is also maintained while doing it. So that is just one experience I would like to share from my end.
So I see a question from Vinay Kumar regarding being interested in finance and not having any internship or work experience regarding it. Vinay, I truly understand you. Being from an architecture background and coming into the field of marketing, I had the same experience. I worked as an architect. I had no prior experience, but I came here. SIBM helped me decide, helped me do a lot of. I read a lot of books. I did a lot of courses around marketing to understand why I have an affinity to marketing, and then, of course, through the experiences of my seniors, through the faculty, they really helped make this decision solid for me. So you will get a very nice, nurturing environment here, and you will be easily able to decide what kind of field you want to go through, even if you don't have any prior experience for it. So, all the best to you, and hope to see you here.
And regarding courses, right, related to finance, and this is not just about finance, any specialization that you're choosing, you can see a lot of courses on LinkedIn and other platforms, similar platforms, and there will be foundational courses like, for instance, I'm somebody who likes to know more about HR analytics, so I was trying to do courses related to it, right? So it's something that you can, be self motivated, and you can take accordingly as well. So yeah.
I see one question by Akash. He wants to ask us how is our experience in SIBM. So I can definitely tell you that it has been a very great experience. I got to interact with so many industry leaders. I got to interact with the people here, the students here. They are at a different level. When I interact with them, I get to learn a lot. So the experience has been great for me. Anyone else would like to add something to this?
I think for me, the little aspects of the day that matters a lot, right? Just taking a walk down the campus. There is this beautiful sunset view here. There's an aqua point. I mean, if I get a chance to take you through this, I would definitely would, right? So just enjoying the nature every day, having conversations, having good food. So all those factors also matter a lot. But apart from that, as I said, it's a very student-driven culture, right? So we do a lot of things. Like, for instance, we are right now representing SIBM Pune in such a big platform. So even the things about ideation, about basically, really, it gives us a platform to nurture our skill set. That's what I would say. So that is what I really love about SIBM. But apart from that, I already mentioned what are the other motivating factors. Sure, Alec. We will upload a good campus video. I guess there are campus videos already on YouTube, but we'll try to give a more recent one as well. Yeah. Okay, so there is a question about the level of difficulty, right? Is LOD1 enough? So I think in the beginning also someone was saying that SNAP is a very easy exam. So see, it depends upon you. It actually depends upon you, and it changes every year. The kind of questions change every year. And when we say it's dynamic, it actually is dynamic because I do remember a lot of questions which I did not expect, right? So I would say aim for a higher level of difficulty so that if you get easy to moderate questions, you can easily solve it in a very less time. So yeah, try mock exams particular to SNAP, so you will get an idea of the field. So don't go into the exam thinking it will be very easy, but yeah.
So Bhagyashree has asked that do we have to choose our specialization in the first semester itself? So yes, we have to choose it in the first semester, but we get ample amount of time to understand which specialization would be the best of us for us. So there were counseling sessions, there were psychometric tests like 16PF and DBTA, and that really helped us to identify what we are good at and what specialization would actually be suitable for us. And we were also exposed to multiple talks and sessions from industry leaders from the start of the semester. So I think that really helped us understand what specialization would be the best. I hope that answers your question, Bhagyashree.
I would also like to add on a bit. Talking to our seniors, I would say that's also a very important aspect here. Talking to our seniors, talking to those who have walked that path also has helped a lot for me. Like they give more clarity about what is it that aligns with my interests and my skill set. So that's also a add-on, I would say. Um, I guess. Okay, so okay, I'll answer one more question here. Due to the paucity of time, we may not be able to take up a lot of questions. So we'll just answer one more question. And remaining, whatever questions you're coming up with, please do reach out to us. Your LinkedIn profiles and everything is available there. So you can reach out and we'll personally answer those questions. So it's written that I guess is SNAP SIBM applicable for an engineering background? Of course, it's applicable for all backgrounds. It does not matter if it's engineering or non-engineering, but you can definitely write SNAP, give it a try, and we hope that you reach here soon. So, as I said, due to the paucity of time, we may have to conclude the session. But thank you for actively being here and for engaging with us. Right, I just want to say that we are all in this together and we will make this uphill climb together. We'll be conducting more such sessions, right? Many more such sessions to cover the future steps. So you can also keep giving us your suggestions on what you would like to know more about. And follow our social media pages. You can even talk to us on LinkedIn, right? And we'll keep you updated on all future developments. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. We hope you like the session.